What do you attribute to some of those things? Because 26 years and still being around is an accomplishment. And certainly being in the top 100 fastest growing MSPs is just a whole different level. Getting to seven figures is a dream of many. Getting 8 figures is, not even a dream to some. We'll probably keep going deeper here, but what do you attribute to some of that success too, Earl?
Yeah, Damon, really, I think as a business, I had to come to a realization that the bottleneck is you as the founder, right? Or the founding team.
Yes.
It's your mindset, it's your vision, it's your dream, to what extent can you think big and dream big and then execute big, right? And that requires really, the majority of us MSPs, we started as engineers, right? Like we aren't business operators inherently. We don't know how to run and scale and grow businesses. Most of us didn't go get MBAs. We came out of, some, IS degree or something like that, right? Or, tech, college or something like that. Most of us fell into the industry kind of by happenstance. We might have freelanced a little bit to make ends meet, while we're building families, and suddenly like we have enough clientele, we can go full time. And then suddenly we got like 3 employees, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got a business and I'm no longer like really engineering. I'm trying to run this business and it's kind of killing me. Like it's you and I both know, like when you are that MSP with 6 to 8, 10 or 12, employees, the business is owning you around the clock.
It's painful.
Yeah. 6 a.m. until like 7 p.m. You're doing engineering. You're doing client escalations. You're running projects. You're doing solutions engineering, and then you got to try to do all the back office. Payroll, finance, AP, AR, banking. Sales and marketing at night, and the business owns you. But that's startup land, right? That's the commitment. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. I still work more hours than I should probably. But I'm at a phase in life too where I'm an empty nester. My kids are, they're adults and they're having fun doing their thing. And my wife, allows me the time during the week to grind, right? To build right now what is my magnus opus. And so, I'm having a good time, and I don't mind working, 12, 14, 16-hour days right now because I like what we're doing, big time vision and ambition, and the team's engaged. We're unified. We're building this together, and we're having a good time. Doesn't mean we always win. Doesn't mean that we don't get our ass kicked sometimes. That happens, and you got to take those gut punches, but that's part of the mindset thing of taking the gut punches and honoring those, and then figuring out how to move on, right, and how to use those as learning lessons. So, Damon, really, it was a matter of me looking in the mirror and saying, if I want to build a high growth MSP, how am I going to do this? And I know I have to learn differently. I have to act differently. I have to think differently. And I've got to learn to market and sell. I got to figure out product market fit. I got to figure out messaging that works. I got to figure out why people buy our services and our products and how that happens and how we meet them at the moment of need or pain. Right. And then taking all that knowledge. So going to a lot of, industry peer groups and boot camps and, 3-day or week-long sort of business boot camps and stuff like that, right? So I decided to, go from an engineer to turning myself into a CEO. And that, I really started that journey in 2012 when my brother and I split the business because I was sole owner at that point of the business and said, well, what am I going to do? I have big vision. How am I going to build it? Because I still 14 years into the business at that point, I knew how to operate a small business. I didn't know how to really scale a business and how to really market and sell, MSP and MSSP services and products, right? So, and I'm still very much on that journey. I've surround myself with the right advisors, the right coaches, I have a CEO coach who's fantastic. Used to run HP Asia South Pacific so he used to run Asia South Pacific for HP. He was a GM, so ran a $3 billion business. He's my CEO coach. I have a great life coach. I have other good advisors, and mentors and stuff around me, that I learn from on a regular basis. I have people, Mark Sunday, the former CIO of Oracle, is a friend that I take to coffee every 3 or 4 months and just pick Mark's brain, right? He's retired now, great guy. So I've been blessed to be able to, create relationships, friendships, and get into rooms that I probably don't belong into, but I've been blessed, to be able to have those connections and people who've leaned into me and said, okay, like we see what you're up to. And as long as I buy them a cup of coffee, they give me some time and some advice. So, yeah.